Hello everybody, my name is Gladbread, and this is my first video for my YouTube channel. I play Minecraft and do Redstone. You know, all the good stuff. Yeah. Also, I do it in Bedrock Edition. It's no secret that there are a lot of flaws to Minecraft Bedrock Edition. In fact, there are like a ton of them. Ignore my lack of a thesaurus, these aren't scripted. One of the biggest problems with Bedrock Edition's Redstone is that it's unpredictable. As you can see here, we have two pistons, and both of the lines connecting them are at equal distance to this button. If I press this, I didn't miss the button, you're lying. You see that, oh, this one extended, and then this one. And then this one. And then this one. So it looks like we've got a pattern go. There we are. See, these are going to fire randomly because there's nothing in this setup here that should indicate which one should have priority over the other. Now, this actually does make sense. As you can see, there is nothing that should say which one should go first. So let's change it up a little bit. This is a repeater, and it adds 1 tick of delay. We can change this delay, but for this example, let's just do 1. If I press this button, this should always activate first because this has less delay than this one. And as you can see, well, there it goes. I was about to say that's showing to be true, and then we had this one fire. There's no consistency, so let's add another tick. Now, if you're wondering what happened there, this one extended, and when it retracted, there was still a little tiny bit of time left in this thing, so it gave it a second to fire. And as long as that happens every time, that's okay. But it doesn't. Really awesome timing in the randomness department, because that was not planned. There's also a mechanic in the Java edition that isn't here that a lot of people agree is very useful, called piston spitting. It basically means if you power a piston really fast using a redstone signal that only lasts for 1 tick, it will push the block instead of retracting it. That would have pushed in the Java edition. Now, there is a little bit more to piston spitting than just that, but since it's not a English. Since it's not a mechanic we get to play with in this edition, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. There is something called quasi-connectivity in the Java edition, but I'm going to be honest, I don't actually understand it very much. The most I understand from it is that some redstone components have a larger hitbox than others, and it allows you to power them in places that you wouldn't normally think they can be powered. What I mean by this is, if we put a piston here and then a redstone block on top of it, and then another redstone block on top of it, when we break this block, in the Bedrock edition it retracts, but it actually would have stayed powered even with this block here. From what I understand, this is because pistons in Java edition actually have a hitbox of a door. So even though this redstone block is right here and the piston is at this level, it's still making contact with the hitbox because it thinks it's the size of a door. That could be false. I don't use quasi-connectivity. I play on the Bedrock edition. But it wouldn't be fair just to talk about all the stuff that Bedrock Edition is missing, when it also has a lot of features that are really cool. One of the most popular ones from Java YouTubers who come over to Bedrock to check things out discover that you can do this. This is not something that can be done in Java Edition. Pistons cannot push chests, it can't push furnaces, barrels, anything that can be a container, which are called tile entities, cannot be moved by pistons. But we can here in the Bedrock edition. We don't have that restriction. We can also power redstone dust on top of pistons and have them power. In the Java edition, the second these powered the pistons extending would actually cause the redstone to break, which then would immediately make the the pistons to retract. But we can do this here. In Bedrock, we can also put torches on the sides of pistons. And when they activate, the torch will invert. This is not a feature in the Java edition. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can't even place torches on the sides of observers like this. I don't think it'll let you. But even with all this awesome stuff Bedrock has, there's still bad sides to it. For example, observers are meant to detect updates and give off a 1-tick pulse as an output. If I were to place a block in front of this, you'll see that it activated. When I break, it also activates, because it's detecting an update in this block. But that isn't always consistent. As you can see, we have a line of redstone here, but if I place it, you'll see that it changed. It very clearly updated, but yet we didn't get an output. If I have a chest here, opening it and closing it does not trigger this observer, despite the fact that it is very clearly changing. Of course, if I break it, it still updates. One of the most disappointing things about this, in my personal opinion, is with note blocks. Normally, in Java Edition, when you click a note block, it changes the note in the block, which of course happens here too. But that change causes updates in observers and therefore can be detected. If you put a block on top of it, it doesn't make that noise anymore, but it's still changing, or at least you're still interacting with it. In Java Edition, that means you can have very large buttons that you can click on. Say this is on a wall, you could have this be a thing, and when you click on it, it'll get an output, and you can use it as a larger button. I personally really wish this was a thing, but we unfortunately don't get that here. I could go on and on all day talking about the various pros and cons that are in the various versions, but honestly, I don't have time for all of that, and I also don't remember all of them. There's a lot. But I choose to play on the Bedrock Edition because I've been playing this version for a very long time. I don't actually know quite when I started, but when I did, I was very young and I was playing on a mobile device, a Kindle Fire. While I can't say what version it was when I started, because I didn't really know about versions at the time, I can say that I do remember building a house out of nether generators, or nether reactors. I don't remember what they're called. And by a house, it was more of a box with a door on it, because I was like 6. It was also called Pocket Edition at the time, so that's fun. I don't mean this to brag, but I really do consider myself to be pretty good at Redstone, at least here on Bedrock. And I'd like to show that off, show other people how to make stuff in the Bedrock Edition, because it is definitely challenging. Almost all the time, if you look up a Redstone thing in YouTube, and you don't specify that you're looking for Bedrock Edition, it will show up Java Edition stuff. I want to present all the different contraptions I'm capable to make, as well as show you guys how to make them yourself, because honestly, we need more Redstoners in the Bedrock Edition, and I'd like to help you guys get there. I know you don't really have a lot of reason to yet, but I really think you guys should subscribe to me, or at least like. I'm starting new. I don't really know quite what I'm doing yet. I haven't edited this at all, and this is humble beginnings, I guess, but I really am excited to start this career, and hopefully we can turn this into something big. I'm happy to see all of you guys in the future if you're willing to stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.